All right, hi guys. Let's get ourselves logged in. How's everybody doing tonight? Are we ready for noise? Oh, right, I was doing fates yesterday on on the moon. Hey, Core. Just horsing around. Oh, I see what you did there. I know exactly what game you're playing. I need to figure out why that is so... Oh! Wait, hang on. Let me check something. I might know why. Yeah, I figured out why things look the way they do. Whoopsies. Let me, fix a thing real quick. Boop. There we go. Okay, now I see what the issue was. I may have had the transparent box that is the little chat box for you guys over the chat, which is why the chat looked weird. Anyway, I was on Dark Knight yesterday. Doing fates, and then I remembered we don't get access to the gem vendor until we get to Bestway Burrows. Oopsies. Anyway, we are now on the moon. Everything is not okay. We heard a weird voice from the planet. Oh! Oh! Thank you so much for the prime sub! Hey, 3 months! As long as you're making anime girls go a mile on foot, yeah. The weather's been kind of icky. I'm probably gonna have to, like, I keep talking about this, but I need to actually commit to finding a reasonably priced under desk treadmill for our on like Facebook Marketplace. I have seen some for like 50 bucks, which is not bad. So yeah. Anyway, I should very much like to hear more of this extraordinary story. Uh-huh. The moon is a ship? Now I've heard everything. Yeah? Me too. It may be true, but others will struggle to believe it. I can scarcely believe it myself. So what does that mean about the moons on the reflections? Are those also ships? Because a thing we're gonna find out this stream does not make sense if they're also ships. Or did it start out as a prison and then Heidelin was like, okay, but what if we also use the one on the source as this other thing? At long last, the Watcher is ready to fulfill his final duty. The time has come for you to be on your way. I just realized I'm on Bard. Whoops. The crater at the heart of Marilar Mentorum, where Zodiark was imprisoned, is not so easily traversed, however. Let us call upon Argos, the familiar whom you met earlier. He should have no trouble bearing you across. As Heidelin created me as the jailer, so too did she create Argos as the guard. It is his nature to appear when needed, and yet he is nowhere to be found. Strange. Mayhap the imbalancing of ether has affected him. Let us make for the crushing brand and attempt to call upon him there. You need but recall the path you walked with Argos before, and you will find your way. I'm gonna find my way? I'm gonna finding way? I almost called this stream Finding Way. Or Finding Our Way. If he labors in service to Heidelin's plan, I see no reason not to do as he suggests. Shall we make for this crushing brand then? Yeah, hang on. Let me just switch over to... Also, Core, you missed out on some science on Sunday. Oh, hang on. Man, unless this is a case of manga same face, this bot that Automod just blocked is using a scan from one of my favorite shoujo manga. Or one of two. I can't remember which one it is. Because again, a lot of shoujo male love interests kind of look the same. Or at least close enough that... Oops, I wanted to report you first. Close enough that if it's been a while since you've read a particular manga, they kind of all blend together. What? Thank you for the 5 months! There we go. All right. Oh, this was an Ash thing. Well, Ash, thank you for giving Lit the 2 months. I don't know where you are right now. Hopefully, I bet he's napping or something. Or giving the schnuggles to Mona, or both. But anyway. But yeah. Also, hi, Lit. Okay. Now to get out of here without getting lost. Is it this door? It's this door. Okay. Meow. We just gotta waddle across. Gameplay-wise, it kind of bugs me that they have Argos carry us there instead of going on foot, just because, like, mechanically it is helpful to be able to access new places on foot rather than having an NPC drag you there, because otherwise you don't learn how to get there. And it takes a lot of autonomy away from your character, which is annoying. But anyway. Then again, with the way they made the moon, navigating it is also annoying. So, Anyway. Here we go. And then around this way. That's fair. I don't think that's Kool-Aid core. And I don't think drinking it is necessarily good for your health. Is it though? Oh, that reminds me. No. The closest one to me is north. I like the exploration aspects of this game. I like wandering around places on foot and then watching the map slowly reveal itself as you walk through the world and discover things on your own. Naught could prepare me for the boundless beauty of Aetheris. Shining, shimmering, amidst a sea of stars. A blue sapphire, and but one of countless other jewels brimming with life, no doubt. Okay. Another thing that bothers me about the writing of this. We've been, like, the planet has been called Heidelin the entire time, and then the Watcher's just like, actually, let me tell you about Aetheris, and we just, like, unquestioningly start calling it that. With a little preparation, it might be possible to traverse the gap on foot. Then again, it would be a long, long way down if one should slip. Perhaps another time. So close and yet so far. Does not the harsh terrain remind you of somewhere we've been before? The Dravanian Forelands, aye. A place that rejects the intrusion of outsiders, where solitude reigns supreme. At the very least, it sounds suitable for Zodiac's prison. The place we seek is just ahead at the the Chlorophosgrot. You see, Argos cannot manifest without sufficient concentrations of ambient ether. You would be hard-pressed to find a greater confluence than inside this cavern. Follow me. Yeah, it's just like, this isn't the only place where this happens, but I'm not going to go into specifics since spoilers, but like, it seems like every time we find out the, like, even if we've been using a different name for something for a really long time, or like we get introduced to a different name first, the second we find out what the ancients called something, suddenly we're just like uncritically calling it that. Look. Also, Core, can I steal that joke for my video essay? Excellent, thank you. Because dead naming the planet, actually kind of accurate. And like, yeah, all things considered, maybe we don't want to keep calling the planet Heidelin, but... Oh yeah, there absolutely is, especially like with some of the other things that I would do differently with writing or Dawn Trail, but... or Endwalker. The guard of Zodiac's prison, eh? Blood-red eyes, slavering maw, and built like a behemoth, I'd imagine. Let's hope he's friendly. Thancred, not that kind of dog. Curious. This place doth call to mind Plaeni, home of the Pneumo. This entire cave is thrumming with ambient ether. Alas, any further analysis will have to wait. Yes, here will do nicely. We were just talking about you. Also, fine, I'll hydrate. Talking shit. The lunar spongoi draw ether from the ground, which is then dispersed in the air. At present, however, the ambient energies are not quite sufficient for Argos to manifest. No, don't listen to her. Lit was saying that the most rancid things of all about you, Ash. Here we go. Might you be willing to spare some of your own to help the Spongai along? I literally just took out, like, one of the oldest, like, the oldest primal in existence. Why do you think I have energy left to, like, lend some of my ether? Let me nap. I know I finally get a nap in like 6.1, but let me nap sooner than that. Barf! Argos manifests in a flash. He seems glad to see you again. A most fascinating creature of Heidelin's. Would you not agree? Should the need arise, he is even able to create reflections of himself on a whim. Though I assure you, it was no reflection which accompanied you earlier to the brand. No, Argos was quite eager to be at your side then, as he is now, it seems. I cannot recall when last he showed such an affinity for anyone. You've been on the moon all by yourself for the last couple million years. What are you talking about? When was the last time you would have had a chance to? Indeed, I thought him more likely to shy away from you and your companions. Perhaps it was more than a sense of duty that compelled him to aid you before. As for your companions... Orf! Unexpected, but greatly appreciated. I believe we are all ready. Then let us return outside, that you may cross the chasm. Oh, that goes under, doesn't it? Yes, it does. This is not a way out. That is also not a way out. Leave me alone. No! I was expecting something a little more intimidating and less man's best friend. Let me guess, you thought it would be taller. To whom was in Heidelin entrust the command of so grand a vessel, I wonder? Dalamud has long been described as the loyal hound of Menfina due to its relation to the greater moon. It seems highly improbable, if not impossible, for ancient peoples to have known of Argos. But now I wonder whether there is some connection. Argos favors you with what could almost be described as conspiratorial, or as a conspiratorial grin. Your destination is the structure there across the Cradle of Darkness. But climb onto Argos's back, and he will take you care of the rest. Once you arrive, it should not take long to find the ship's crew. The facility is designed to rouse them from their slumber in the event of Zodiark's destruction. Heed their counsel. Together, you may guide the star and its people to a kinder fate. This is where we part ways, but know that I shall ever be watching and praying for your success. Stand! All right. Let me just get my chair out of the way. There we go. All right. Worry not for me. Real though I may appear as you and yours, I am but a part of this moon. A creation of Heidelin entrusted with the memories of an acquaintance long dead, but not forgotten. My charge of Zodiark has ended, but so long as the moon exists, I shall not want for purpose. I shall remain, ever watching, ever praying for your success. Alright. Also, thank you for putting the time down, Ash. I appreciate it. Are you still saying the same thing? Yep, okay. Our allies' assurances notwithstanding, we cannot be certain that or what awaits us on the other side, so perhaps it would be best if we did not all go at once. I propose the two of us cross first, while Thancred and Urianger wait here. Alright, let's go. Perhaps! Onward! A malefic ether yet permeates from the crater. Remnants of Zodiark, most like. We totally could have walked that. Just a little further. This structure is enormous, though that is hardly surprising given the size of the average Amaratine. Apologies for the wait. Right then, let us head inside and... Oh? Most intriguing. A means by which he conserveth energy, mayhap. Well, I certainly wouldn't want him to blink out of existence on our account, helpful as he's been. Stay here where it's safe, all right? If Argos is to remain without, let us not keep him waiting over long. Yeah. God, I'm tiny. Does anything happen if I go into Hopper's Hold right now? Yeah. I also really like the Loprits. I know I'm really critical about Endwalker, but the parts I really liked were Garlemald, this part, and then something that's spoilers for Lit, so I can't talk about it. But if you've played Endwalker and you know me well, you know what it is. You assore them. Is that when you adore something so much that it hurts and makes you sore? Truly a marvel beyond description. Its scale is reminiscent of Amaranth, or rather, the replica we visited on the first. I mean, the replica we visited on the first, if I remember correctly, was created on top of actual ruins. So, you know. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. Why didn't that work? Huh? Hang on. Right? Hang on. Hey, Tits. What's going on? That's not what I want. Here. You're not connected again? What? I don't understand. Okay. There. It's connected. I don't know why that keeps happening. I'll have to keep an eye on it and see if it happens again later. I don't know. Oh, maybe I should double check to make sure it's updated. Maybe that's the issue. Bobby! Look at their little face! They're here! Yeah! Hey, look, it's anime protagonist effect. That one looks different.
Look lively, everyone.
That one looks different. Must be an important character.
I know. This 1,243rd inspection is a mite ahead of schedule, but it is of the utmost importance. For Zodiac, alas, is no more. As of now, our mighty moon has a new purpose: to bear the people of Aetheris to safety.
Oh yeah, I know they do it with all the allied societies. I just find it really funny.
Our time has come, my friends.
The manager doesn't have to wear the uniform. That's wild.
We must be swifter than swift. There is much to do before our guests arrive. I expect your workstations to be immaculate. And don't forget to relay our signal to Aetheris. Questions? Yes? No? Maybe so? No? Then hop to it!
They're so cute.
'Tis a rather curious crew she hath chosen. Their endearing forms intended to ease the passengers' hearts, perhaps.
Hey, Lit, when you get the chance, you should do the Loprit Allied Society quests. Just saying.
Perhaps.
I am saying this for no particular reason, of course. I find Arianje's reasoning somewhat flimsy, but the crew seems amicable enough. What if Vina just really liked cute things? Given the present crisis, Heidelin doubtless sought to facilitate cooperation betwixt pilot and passenger. Indeed, 'twould require a heart as hard as diamond to raise one's voice in anger to beings possessed of such profound saccharinity. You say that, but like, Mughals are also really cute, and there are certain NPCs that don't like Mughals and want to do bodily harm to them, so... Thancred's dumbfounded expression suggests he's still struggling to comprehend the spectacle he has just witnessed. They must be the Loprits mentioned in the Watcher's records. Not at all what I expected. None of this has been what you expected. But the Watcher did bid us heed their counsel. I assume the one who gave that rousing speech was their leader, though we might have to ask about in order to track them down. Come on then, let's be about it. Yep. Right behind you guys. Hi, Critter. I mean, yeah, but that's what Mughals do. They're adorable little troublemakers. The Loprits will appear to have set about their tasks. Where is their leader, I wonder? Also, what if they'd use this as a way to reveal that Urianger has, like, a secret major soft side for, cute things himself? Like, he says it's just because, like, oh yeah, it'll ease people's hearts, but really, this is all about his preferences. Saw all the fun the traders on Aetheris were getting up to, and I thought to myself, hey, I could do that. So here I am, eagerly awaiting your patronage and bicolor gemstones. Yeah. Gimme. Is it fucked up to say Loprits are Final Fantasy XIV minions? Yes, because they're actually Final Fantasy IV minions. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of, moment of nerdom here for a second. Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know, this is like the one bit of Final Fantasy IV references where it doesn't feel like they were trying too hard. Because this fits. Because when you go to the moon... I'm gonna mute the game sound real quick. And unmute my Firefox thing to play... Hang on, let me make sure I am in the right spot. Oh wait, that's from the remaster. Where is the OG crunchy Hummingways tune? No, this is their humming. I think they just ripped that straight from the game when we hear them hum later. Oh. There we go. Nope, that's the moon. This person is buying thing. Hang on. There we go. There. See? It's the same music from Final Fantasy IV from when you go to the Hummingway abode. So yeah, like this fits. This works. Because the Hummingways were on the moon. It would have been more of a crime for them to have created, or like, let us go to the moon and for these guys not to be there. Such a fascinating apparatus, though it's hard to believe it could house so many crew members. Even so, there's nothing else here to suggest other types of accommodation. Yeah, I do find it a little weird that there's still, like, their bodies inside of here. Just saying. Oh yeah, let me... real quick. Also, fun fact, most of these, names are the names Namingway. Woken up in stages, maybe, or like, I've always assumed it's, oh yeah, they're like kept in cold storage until they're needed. And we have enough that are awake, and like, this is the cloning facility for when they need to make more. But anyway, for anybody who's never played Final Fantasy IV before, there is a character who, when you first meet him, is named Namingway, which is where the minion comes from, and a certain other character. These should have been named Mendingway and Vendingway. Anyway. But anyway, he starts off as Namingway, tries to change your name, discovers he cannot. And then he goes on a journey of self-discovery where you keep running into him throughout the game. And every time you run into him, his name has changed. And those names are things like Mapping Way and Finding Way, or not, I don't think Finding Way is one, but Living Way is one of them, Camping Way, anyway. But yeah, like a lot of the Loprit names around here, their names are, there's a bunch of them whose names are just straight up the names that Namingway was using throughout the game. And then eventually you get to the moon and you discover that, oh, there's like a whole village on the moon of these guys, and they're all named Hummingway and they all hum. Anyway, Chipper Loprit. He did that! No. I'm pretty sure it was in the original version, too. Because the thing is, like, he's the one who gives you the map and a bunch of other stuff as you play through the game. And the Hummingways play a role in the story when you get to the moon. It's been a while since I played it, but yeah. Or at the very least, it was in the DS version, which is the one that was on Steam when I played Final Fantasy IV, but I'm pretty sure they're in the original version too. The leader of the crew? Not me, I'm afraid. Singing Way's the name. I am in charge of the construction and maintenance of the atmospheric circulation system. Only the crispest, cleanest air for the people of Aetheris. And that's a promise. What do you mean the rabbits aren't real? But yeah, I just... Oh, the name change? Let me check. So the difference is just his ability to change names, but I'm pretty sure he still shows up. Anyway, either way, at least as of the DS version, these are the names that Namingway changes his name. Either way, get out. You've got Nomming Way, Mapping Way, Living Way, Recording Way, Camping Way, Jamming Way, Cheating Way, Pudding Way, Moping Way, Loving Way, Wedding Way, Humming Way, and Going My Way. And like all of those have a Loprit someone on here. You can't tell if it's... Oh. Moving on. Dozing Loprit. Leader? No. Sleeping Way. My job is... Perhaps I'd better ask. What do you mean, oh no? I caught you in the act core. Oh, I thought the bit thing was a joke because of the nomming way thing. Or were you just making fun of how I pronounce nomming way? Yeah, sure. It's probably actually supposed to be naming way. But there's no, like, N-A-M is nam, not name. That's why there's an E at the end of it. Wait. Never mind, maybe I'm just stupid. But like... Never mind. What? How in the... Hi? When did you get here? Who let you in? Why wasn't I told? I'm the one who, take me to your leader. Were you the one giving orders earlier? I can hum. Does it make a, if I hum, is it gonna make the humming noise? If I hum, is it gonna make the humming noise? I kind of want to do it just to find out, because like there's that thing in Shadowbringers where if you pick the Kupo option, it Kupos. I'm gonna do it. Yes! What was that supposed to be? Your humming, if one can even call it that, is atrociously off key. It sounded just like yours. What are you talking about? It should sound more like this. Loprits, I cannot allow substandard attempts at musicality to go unremarked, even if you are a guest. But being the magnanimous sort that I am, I'll forgive you this once. Thank goodness. Whatever would I have done if you didn't forgive me? However could I have gone on? It's the same WAV file, you gaslighting way. Well, whoops, wrong voice. Well, looks like you beat us here. Your friends, I take it? Is this all of them? For now. Sit down. Oh. Thank you. I like how you knew I wasn't sitting. Thank you for the lurk, critter. I appreciate that. A group comprised entirely of children? What must their parents be thinking? No, we left the children behind, back on the planet. This isn't a nursery after all. Though perhaps we should build one. Or did we build one already? No matter. You needn't worry your pretty little heads. All will be well, I promise. But goodness me, we shouldn't be standing about gawping. I must take you to meet the others. Okay, I'm just imagining if we were still ancient size and running around with these tiny little buns that could just sit on the palm of our hand, probably. If you could run along back toward the entrance, you'll find a path that leads to the central platform on the upper floor. There's no wrong way to reach it, but it's the large glowing ball at the center, and if you should find yourselves lost. I shall gather the others and meet you there. Well then, back to the upper floor it is. First things first, before I forget. And there we go. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's gonna feel slow as hell even though mounts all move the same way, but this feels thematic. It is a little funny basically using a grounded spaceship to travel, but heading to bed? All right, thanks for dropping by, Ash. Space Whale, yeah. Wobbling way and flopping way. That's super cute. Visitors at last. Welcome. Given their size, ooh, please don't block people. Given their size, getting from one end of this place to the other must be exhausting. I honestly don't know how they do it. That is completely fair. Also, the stream is probably going to get past what would be spoilers for you potentially, so, you know. But yeah, thanks for dropping by. Tis astounding how the Loprits, despite their diminutive stature, are able to maintain such gargantuan facilities. Did I talk to you already? Oh, the etheric composition and density of this sphere is quite similar to the crystalline concepts we've seen before. It likely shares their capacity for storing memories and knowledge. Alright.
Right, of course. Introductions are in order. Ahem. My name is Livingway, and we are the Lotharites, created for the express purpose of commanding this ship and bearing the people of Atheris to a brave new world. More specifically, I am the one whom she charged with the execution of her most vital plans. You might say I'm her right paw. Livingway's the name, map reader and navigator of the heavens.
Pleasure to meet you all, but I'm still trying to make sense of this.
Confusion and bewilderment are completely understandable. Fear not, I shall walk you through it. The people of Atheris, through no fault of your own, I'm sure, set in motion a series of events that, unfortunately, culminated in Zodiac's obliteration.
I mean, it may have been a little bit my fault.
Acutely aware of the imminent crisis, your parents sent you little ones on ahead while they began the necessary preparations.
I'm a whole-ass adult, actually, and in my defense, Heidelin didn't warn me that Zodiarc's destruction would result in the final days happening, so it's kind of her fault. Are any of us going to tell them?
Still not following? No? Very well, I shall elaborate further. Here, we have Atheris, your home, and the moon, where we are now. Without Zodiac around to keep things lively, so to speak, the celestial currents of the star have doubtless begun to degrade. A calamity of apocalyptic proportions will be visited upon Atheris, bringing an end to all life. Very sad, that.
So too hath the Watcher claimed. By thine unperturbed countenance, I gather this eventuality was anticipated.
The doom and gloom. Oh yes, quite expected. Imagine, if you will, that Atheris is a delicious carrot that I've forgotten to eat and left out in the midday sun. The most earnest wishes or prayers will not stop it from rotting to the core. So sadly, there's nothing to be done but to abandon said carrot, Atheris, in case the metaphor is lost on you, to its grisly fate.
And this moon will serve as the vessel to deliver us to a new home.
Just so! We will gather up as many people, supplies, and resources as our stores will hold. And then, once everyone is aboard, it's off to another star. Easier said than done, admittedly, for one does not simply hop from star to star on a whim, which is precisely why we've spent countless years constructing the most propulsive of propulsion systems. We ought to make it to our destination in 2 shakes of a rabbit's tail.
Impressive technology. I dare say it is beyond anything we have ever seen.
No need to shower us with praise. All we've done is faithfully carry out the instructions left to us by Heidelin. Back in the old days, when she was still just Venar, she was dedicated to the study of the world and its inner workings. And the Watcher, the real one, not the simulacrum you met, was one of her fellow researchers. We and this wondrous vessel masquerading as a moon are products of their knowledge and know-how.
There's certainly more to you all than meets the eye. Might I ask where exactly you intend to take us?
We identified a few promising candidates for resettlement some time ago, but we cannot guarantee that they are fit for habitation. Moreover, the ship can only travel in short bursts. We intend to go down our list, hopping from star to star, until we find one suitable for resettlement.
Wow, you guys are so good at planning
No
things.
need to worry, though. The vessel is being refurbished with accommodation for an extended stay as we speak. While we did have to rely upon outside help to determine what amenities were essential, I dare say we have risen to the challenge.
Help? From who?
From you and yours! Who else? Each time we woke to perform regularly scheduled maintenance, we were greeted by the resources you sent us. What better way to learn about preferences and proclivities of our present-day charges? Ah, but you're still adorable little children. Perhaps your elders were responsible for the deliveries?
Yeah, so about that.
I'm not sure what led you to conclude otherwise, but I can assure you that we are all grown men and women. And I very much doubt my elders know this place exists, much less how to send you so much as a starlight missive.
Yeah, no, like, I have theories, and like, I'm working on a video essay about Endwalker that I'm gonna put together at the, or like after I finish replaying it, and hopefully release it sometime this fall. But the short version is, I think this should have been 2 expansions. And then they could have spent more time exploring the whole concept of Heidelin and the idea of, because she is the primal of light and stagnance, that being why she didn't help us stop the final days and just kind of let them happen. Yeah, like, it just, man, it frustrates me so much because I see how it could have been so much better. And like, part of the video essay is, this is how I would have written, this expansion and my version of 7.0, which would have been the second expansion of this storyline. But, you know, on one hand, it's really fun. On the other hand, it bums me out. Because I was actually like, it's not that I dislike Endwalker. There are parts of it I really like. It just frustrates me because it's like, there's so many things about it that disappointed me. Anyway, let me finish this cutscene before the ad happens, because we just got the warning.
What? Then who in blazes let you on my moon?
Heidelin did.
Heidelin herself led you here.
Yeah?
You don't say. Well, that's really not children. Then why are you so small and stunted? Like little baby carrot people.
We're normal sized, actually.
Well, Amarotines were a great deal taller. In the present day, persons of such prodigious size are exceedingly rare.
She says like that like we've met anybody of that size.
So, you're saying everyone's not like the Watcher?
Yeah?
Oh, confound it all! Someone could have at least scribbled a note about your profound miniaturization.
They probably didn't know how big Amarotines were.
That tome in thy possession.
Oh, this? One of the first books sent to us. A compendium of the people of Aetheris, with a few blank pages at the back for minor corrections and updates as needed. The sum total of our knowledge of your kind is contained in these pages.
I mean, at the very
I
least,
thought it was abridged and made small for our benefit, but this isn't a regular-sized book, is it?
It is. No, not during the ads. Shoot.
Building way, can you hear
There we
me?
go. Okay.
Yes, we're all very busy.
Anyway, yeah, just to like yap during the ad. I see that the high points of Endwalker were really nice, but for me it doesn't make up for the fact that the pacing is awful. There are multiple fights that get done dirty. Anima should have been a trial. Zodiark should not have been the first trial of the expansion. It should have ended with us fighting at Zodiark. Something I've noticed historically about the Final Fantasy XIV team is they are awful about how they promote new expansions. And like with Shadowbringers, it made sense because they wanted to keep the whole us going to a reflection secret. But when they first announced Shadowbringers, they said that we were going to be taking it to the Garleans. They made it sound like we were going to either going to Garlemald or Garlean territory to fight the Garleans. And it was going to be part of the war. And like that, and then they're like later on in a different fan fest, they were like, actually, you're going to the first. It was like, oh, okay. But then like they hyped up Shadowbringers the way they did, and it ended up rushed, and the pacing is bad, and fights should have been there's again, Anima should have been a trial. Zodiark should not have been the first easy trial of the expansion. There are plot points that either don't get explored enough or kind of get rushed through. There are concepts that don't kind of get name dropped, and then we don't actually get to see things on the screen, like the Telepharoi, or, you know, Maxima talks about the Popularis and how like members of them were among the people we, to be fair, Bolgia and weapons trials. That, no, not to be fair, because the thing is, it's stuff that they should have shown. Bolgia, they can easily pick that up and continue the storyline later. I'm not talking about stuff that happened inside content. I'm talking about what the fuck is a Telepharoi? We hear, like, we only know that they're a faction of Garleans that support Xenos from outside sources. We know that they're members of the Popularis at Camp Broken Glass, and instead of having a conversation with them and them telling us stuff directly, we just get things secondhand from Maxima. Hi guys, welcome back. I'm ranting about my opinions about Endwalker. Like the reality is, I know people have been memeing on Dawntrail and stuff. I genuinely think that it is better written than Endwalker is, and people are looking at Endwalker through rose-tinted glasses. Hot take. Anyway, moving on.
Change of plans. I need you to rebuild the domiciles at 1/3 the scale. All of them. Yes, all of them, and but me no buts. See to it with all speed.
Dawntrail is still cooking, and also, like, I would very much like to know the opinion of somebody who plays Dawntrail without having been involved with the pre-expansion hype and didn't see the trailer. Because there's so much about the reception of Dawntrail that reminds me of Stormblood, and here we are years later, and there are people who really like Lys and really, like, actually like Stormblood. And the way people talk, like, honestly, in the instances where people are being more harsh about Uklamont than they were about Lys, there's usually a certain narrative that's being pushed with that dislike. Looking at you, anybody who calls her woke Lamont. So, yeah. Some serious reason, yeah, for some reason people don't like
Perhaps you could tell us a bit more about your terrestrial collaborators.
For some reason, when there's an NPC who gets a certain amount of focus in the story and it's a female character, people get really weird, and like people get even more weird when that character is voiced by a trans actor or a trans actress who honestly, if people hadn't been told that she was trans, I doubt a whole lot of people would have been able to clock it. She is incredibly good at what she does. I also happen to know that it's really hard for trans VAs to get work, so kudos to Square Enix for giving her such a big role.
Yes, in due time. But first, I'd like to hear more about you, if it's all the same. I'd rather not risk any other complications due to outdated knowledge of our passengers-to-be.
Yeah, well, it's not just Endwalker, because I've seen people be like, yeah, but like Shadowbringers, like Shadowbringers was still like a conclusion expansion. Arguably, Shadowbringers did a better job of wrapping up a bunch of storylines than Endwalker did. I should have realized something was amiss when Livingway referred to us as children. Really? What other delightful misconceptions do they hold, I wonder? Y'shtola, they called us children when we were in Amarot too. What are you talking about? Why do I get the feeling we're going to have our hands full dealing with the Loporrits? 'Tis unfortunate that the domiciles were constructed in error, but their willingness to perform such sweeping renovations is testament to their commitment. I cannot fathom the resources required for a facility so vast. But yeah, like, honestly, what Dawntrail needs to be compared to is A Realm Reborn. And, I definitely think it was better written than A Realm Reborn was. Like, to be clear, I don't think the story A Realm Reborn was telling was bad. I just think it was told badly. And do plan on doing and I can write it better about that one too. With the final days fast approaching, Livingway is keen to complete her preparations. Although, in fairness, A Realm Reborn was also written in like 2 years. Like, all of A Realm Reborn was rushed. Right then, now that you're here, we need you to teach us all you can about your people, and quickly. Also, did their compendium of the different races, I'm assuming when Livingway said peoples of Aetheris, they meant, like, races. Although I guess they could have meant nationalities and stuff. But still, like, shouldn't it have included the different races and their average heights? It won't be long before the final days are upon us in all their terrible grandeur, so it is imperative that we be prepared to receive our passengers-to-be. If there is anything at all that may displease them, it must be addressed post-haste. Yeah. I mean, if they ever did a rework of A Realm Reborn, I would want them to just, like, have it be the same plot, but do a better job of smoothing out the places where it's really obviously removed parts of the story when they, like, trimmed A Realm Reborn. And address it we shall. Here at Bestways Burrow, we have assembled everything required to offer our guests the best way forward. We have produced myriad amenities we understand to be essential for day-to-day living, and I wish to hear your opinions on them. I'm sure you've all worked up an appetite, so why don't we start with our foodstuffs? Meet me at the Curatorium, and we'll see about filling your bellies. As long as you're not forcing us into a diet of only one food. She does not want for enthusiasm. The notion of Aetheris rotting to its core being a matter of course is rather concerning, though. Oh, that was Y'shtola talking, whoops. Nevertheless, let us take this opportunity to learn more of the Loporrits in this vessel. Oh dear, I certainly hope Billingway can complete the renovations before more guests arrive. Or perhaps he should leave them as they are. That way, you'd have more space to lounge about. Yeah, but what about the furniture? I guess, but like the reality is in that case it's not a skin color issue, it's a where they live issue. They could have hired a Latina actress, and if she didn't have the right like accent growing up, or she would have had like a Mexican American accent, not the accent that you'd expect Luke Lamont to have. So honestly, I didn't have an issue with the accents. I think the bigger issue with Dontrell, honestly, is that we've been spending the last decade playing a game where we went to like fantasy Europe mostly. You know, we're in fantasy Europe, or, you know, the one expansion where we went to fantasy Japan, and so everybody kind of has either like European or past or you know, they're either European accents or what one of my favorite voice actors ever described as proper but not British. And then we go to where we go in Dawntrail, and there's just straight up American accents. And it's not that the voice acting is bad, it's just, it's really jarring hearing those accents after a decade of European/European-ish accents. Fantasy, is it Fantasy Arizona or Fantasy like Texas? Either way, I think the bigger issue is I think a lot of times people criticize voice actors when the actual issue is the voice director, or like the direction that was happening. Aroma Born is a big victim of this, where you know, people will be like, oh my god, the English voice actors are so bad. It's like, Alphinaud was played by Sam Riegel. Thancred was Taliesin Jaffe. These are big name voice actors that they had in A Realm Reborn. Heidelin was played by, I always forget her name, but the same voice actress who plays the Major in Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. You know, the voice actor for Raubon went on to do the music for Shadowbringers and a little bit of Endwalker. Like, the voice actors are not bad. The issue was the voice director wasn't good, whoever they were. And I think there's a little bit of that, or like them not really thinking about certain things with voice accents, because I think I have less of an issue with Luke Lamont's accent and more with the fact that, like, why does Aaronville have the accent he does when his mother sounds the way she does? When we finally meet her, where did Aaronville's accent come from? Whoops. Also, given what the moon is supposed to be, why are the robots here, what's the word? Hostile towards me? Hast thou espied the peculiar sentinels patrolling the vicinity? Approach them with caution, or better yet, not at all. For they make no distinction between friend or foe. Isn't that really dangerous for an aircraft or spacecraft that's supposed to be for our safety? The Loports aren't very good at this, clearly. Am I the only one who suspects we're not going to find anything edible whatsoever? More likely it's going to be carrots, carrots, and more carrots, which is especially funny considering the fact that a certain character does not like carrots. Given their earlier confusion regarding our size, I cannot help but wonder if they even know the first thing about us. Probably not. I don't, honestly, my theory is this plan was not actually intended to happen. At worst, it was at best, it was lip service from Heidelin. At worst, she straight up did this just to manipulate us. You're a lot smaller than we expected, but I trust you still have large appetites, yes? Welcome to the Caratorium. Here, we create prototypes of the various sundries required by our soon-to-be passengers. Allow me to introduce the head of foodstuff production. Cooking Way, pleasure to meet you all. Our work has involved no small amount of trial and error, but after many, many cycles of painstaking labor, I dare say we have created the finest cuisine our guests could ask for. I've learned all about the essential nutrients for a healthy and balanced... Wait a minute. Oh, I see what the problem is. They were learning about food, like what kind of food we'd want from the Sharlians. Uh-oh. That explains everything. For a healthy and balanced diet, from the reference materials we received, why, I've practically worn the words from those invaluable pages. Naturally, we've also considered ease of growth and production. We will not want for ingredients. I must insist you try some. We have fresh stock recently prepared on account of, well, because we just woke up and we're all quite famished. Hop along the platforms here, and you'll find a storage unit full to bursting with delectable delights. Help yourself to anything you like. You would think the Sharlians of all people would have been like, here are the races, here's their average lifespan, here is the average heights you can expect these various races to grow to. Like, did they not explain Lalafell to... I went the wrong way. Did they not explain Lalafell to the Loprits at all? That just seems horribly out of character. Can you get up there, please? Thank you. Seriously. Are you... Aha! Ether current. Hydrate! Okay. Oh. I didn't go to the right place, did I? Let's see. Oh, yes, I did. This doesn't require a debate. We have work to do, so quit dragging your feet and get to it. You open the storage unit and find a rainbow-colored assortment of carrots. Unassuming orange carrot, peculiar-looking blue carrot, vibrant yellow carrot, ominous crimson carrot. Take a moment to reconsider. I'm gonna try the... hey guys, what color should I pick? I'll let you decide. As a matter of fact... I'm gonna set up a poll. Go! Get voting, guys. You've got a minute. Well, I do some stretchies. Oh, I just heard my back pop. definitely gonna take this time to stretch. Blue? I mean, I guess it's thematic. All right, and blue is the winner. The peculiar looking blue carrot. The blue variety is strangely supple to the touch and smells vaguely of mint. Its excessive length and girth only adds to this dubiousness of this so-called carrot. Are you certain you wish to eat this carrot? Actually, hang on, let me read the descriptions for the rest of them. From frond to tip, no scratches nor blemishes mar this immaculate specimen. Nevertheless, if not for its excessive length and girth, one might think it was an ordinary carrot. While it has no peculiar smell to speak of, the yellow variant is unusually light and springy. These qualities, together with its excessive length and girth, would lead anyone to question whether it is indeed a carrot. Why are you obsessing over its length and girth, game? The soft texture and redolent aroma of this crimson creation belie its staggering weight. The excessive length and girth only compound the mystery, leaving you perplexed as to the nature of this carrot. Oop, that's not what I want to click. All right, blue carrot time. On second thought, you elect to simply take an obscenely large carrot for now, for now. Due to its bizarre qualities, it would be prudent to ask Cooking Way whether it's safe to eat first. Okay. Hey, Cooking Way? I just remembered the Loprits don't have a concept of, like, actually cooking. They expect us to, at the risk of getting demonetized, they expect us to consume that length and girth raw. Just raw dogging the whole carrot, yeah. Why would they grow carrots that cannot be eaten? I think the bigger issue is, given everything else they thought they knew about us, but don't, whether or not, this can actually be eaten by us. I'm eager to hear what you think of our work. I'm sure there's some small room for improvement, but I'm confident you'll be satisfied. Like, I'll be real. Hang on, I need to look something up. Assuming that red carrot is iron, which is why it's so heavy. In healthy people, taking high doses of iron supplements, especially on an empty stomach, can cause an upset stomach, constipation, nausea, abdominal pain, vomiting, and diarrhea. Large amounts of iron might also cause more serious effects, including inflammation of the stomach lining and ulcers. High doses of iron can also decrease zinc absorption. Extremely high doses of iron in the hundreds or thousands of milligrams can cause organ failure, coma, convulsions, and death. So, you know, maybe that red carrot isn't safe for consumption. Well, also they would have been basing things off of the nutrition of somebody the size of an ancient. Iron will melt your veins. Yeah. It's so funny when you encounter somebody who doesn't understand that the iron that is like what we consume is literally the metal. So, did any of our selections set your mouth to watering? I mean, I like mint. Even Virar like to swoon at the slightest, or at the sight of so grand a carrot. That, or be offended that all those who assume, or be offended by all those who assume that they would. Ah, yes, a fine choice. One of my personal favorites, actually. Please, dig in. I'm eager to hear what you think. I hope you enjoyed as much as we do. Boop. With great trepidation, you take a bite out of the carrot. You are taken by a surprise when blue juices burst forth from the carrot and dribble down your chin. As you take your second bite, you can feel your mental faculties sharpening. Your mind opens to the universe, and for a brief moment, the mysteries of existence are simple, transformative truths. But the revelation is fleeting. When you at last finish the carrot, a sweet yet sour aftertaste lingers on your tongue, and the number 42 in your mind. Ah. The number 42. Got it. That is good. What did you think? Unlike anything you've ever tasted, yes? The philosopher's carrot improves mental fortitude. Something of a shock at first bite, but it's well worth the enhanced powers of cognition. We have plenty of other varieties, too. Bleeding carrots to improve blood flow. Why is it bleeding? Hang on. What? Dream carrots to help with sleep. So you see, we have a carrot for every occasion. And what was the description if I'd eaten the red one? Hello? These carrots are extraordinary, but what if I don't like carrots? I can certainly see demand for this in Charlian. But what if I don't like carrots? I do like carrots, especially cooked, but... You don't like carrots? Oh, you must mean you don't like them served in this fashion. Why not? We have pureed versions on hand if you haven't the time to chew. How very Charlian. I take it you too had a wide assortment of carrots to choose from, and naught else? I most certainly don't like carrots enough to want them to be the only food I ever eat. If I may ask, what exactly did these collaborators share with you about the cuisine on Aetheris? Surely you are aware we have an abundance of dishes and foods you could emulate. Of course we are, but, well, it was only quite recently that we established contact. Fortuno sitting down for a big bowl of baby food. It's so funny, because he actually does not like carrots. Like, at least one of the leaves, or I don't know if it's a leaf or a series of leaves in Charlian, are requests from Emilience trying to get you to make things that you could, like, that her husband might possibly eat. He notoriously does not like carrots and is a massive kid about it. Yeah. Even holding a conversation was a struggle at first. So imagine our surprise when they sent a mountain of books and documents with no clear instructions. The sheer amount of information was overwhelming. If it wasn't for that encyclopedia I found, we would have been at a loss where to begin. And so we decided, rather than divide our resources to prepare a variety of middling and potentially unsatisfying meals, it would be more efficient to devote our efforts to the production of a single perfect food. That's all well and good, but man cannot live on raw carrots alone. Have you considered cooking them? You mean steaming, boiling, roasting, and the like? I suppose we could prepare the carrots in other ways. But our primary concern was efficiency. And what's more efficient than sinking your teeth into a carrot fresh from production? Making some muffins ahead of time and just grabbing them whenever you're hungry. A rather strange approach to take for one named Cooking Way, isn't it? Well, technically speaking, Cooking Way isn't my given name. When first created, we were all named in the old tongue. You know, that otherwise impenetrable parlance the Watcher speaks. After we received a great tome of words, a dictionary, that is, from our collaborators, we learned your language. Adverbs, gerunds, present continuous verb conjugations. Just the basics. Then we found the terms related to our given tasks and used them to form new names. Aren't they helpful? No, not really, but it does explain a great deal. Wherefore didst thy kind deem such a change necessary? When the rest of our people arrive, when the rest of your people arrive, we want to be certain they understand immediately what each of us does. You'd never be able to pronounce our original names anyway. I see. I hope our critiques, such as they are, were helpful to you. Though, if you should decide to preserve flora and fauna from Aetheris as well, you would be able to offer the passengers a more balanced diet. Until such a day, when I pray comes sooner than later, it would appear there's naught but carrots on the menu. Purple carrot juice. I hate to admit it, but I did rather like the carrots. Well, I'm sure the Loprits would hop at the chance to expound upon carrots in exhaustive detail. Perhaps it's time we moved on. Hungry for more carrots? Fear not. You can eat to your heart's content after you've seen the rest of Bestways Burrow. Oh, I almost forgot. Hang on. Oh, I'm not in a sanctuary right now, so it does not matter. Living Way is eager to show you more of the moon's wonders. I think we've had our fill of carrots for now. Let's move on to other necessities, shall we? Our clothing production is sure to impress. This way. Oh yeah, speaking of intelligence and like items opening my mind to the secrets of the universe, I may or may not have made a little oopsie last night, and started a new playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3 because like it's with an OC that I'd be more than happy to do a stream with some, or like do a new playthrough with, if that's what you guys want, if you guys are interested in me playing as my Tav. But I decided I was too impatient to wait until I could stream the game to play it again. It's hardly Sunsilk tapestries, but otherwise we'll be but perhaps we'll be pleasantly surprised. Do you suppose the clothes they prepared will be as grossly oversized as the carrots? Garments born of the heavens, crafted with methods ancient and forgotten. Dress befitting we who walk in shade, stewards of the esoteric. Here we are, the apparel production station. We've chosen to employ more traditional methods for this task. Creation magics. Heidelin, in her infinite wisdom, blessed us with the self-same affinity for magic her people possessed. We have other amazing talents, of course, and I know you're dying to hear about them, but I will regale you with the details another time. That said, we did run into a spot of trouble at first. Our magic alone was not sufficient to see our work done. In the end, we discovered crystallized ether was a wonderful catalyst that could provide us with the extra vis we needed. The extra what? My, how resourceful. Ah, the sweet sound of recognition. You will also be impressed to hear we've read all about your habit of changing attire to match your chosen profession. For the sake of efficiency, I presume. This has also been taken into account with our designs. Yeah, so, I'll be so real. The two things I do not trust the Charlians to be educating people about are food and fashion. They all eat really gross, nutrition-rich bread and nothing else because they care more about they're gym bros that care more about nutrition than taste. Except, like, the nerd equivalent of those types of gym bros. And they all wear really boring robes or uniforms. But why take my word for it when you can simply try on our clothes? Make yourselves known to the workers and they will see to the rest. Eating exclusively calorie but bad. If you're worried about sizing, don't be. It should be a simple matter to adjust our concepts as required, and it will be required. They're the types that would take unseasoned chicken and like put it in a blender with some vegetables and stuff, and then like not even worry about taste, just nutrition, and then call that a meal. And unfortunately, there is no facet, or is it facets? No, not facets. Urianje's story arc in Endwalker is very good. I wish I'd gotten a little more focused, but I also wish they would give Y'shtola a story arc. The Last Stand. The Last Stand was somebody who used to, teach at the studium and then quit in order to make that one and only place where they actually care about food. They even emphasize in MSQ the fact that it's the only place like that. Ah, it's you! One of the visitors from Theris. Goodness me, Mapping Way wasn't kidding. You really are smaller than the Watcher. Oh, right. You're here to try on a set of clothes, yes? What would you have me fashion for you today? Outfit that embodies my bloodlust, something simple yet functional, fashionable and refined ensemble. Yeah, that one. I want to see what their definition of fashionable and refined is. Fashionable. Right. Ahem. This will only take a moment. My expectations weren't very high, and they still... I'm sure it doesn't actually matter what you pick, but still, Our expectations were low, but goddamn, exactly. The bar was in Satan's basement, and they still managed to miss it. Perfect fit, if I do say so myself. Be honest, I know nothing of fashion, let alone fashion on a Theris. But I'd wager no one down there has ever worn anything like this fine ensemble. Perhaps you can start a new trend. I mean, this is about on par with people leveling up and not bothering to glamour over their gear and just ending up with a hodgepodge of stuff. I did mention how Charlians all wear robes, but like, also the robes they wear in Charlian look nicer than this. We promise nothing and deliver even less, yeah. Well, start a new trend? I don't think so. Would you look at that? Speechless! And there I thought you may not like it. If you're a mind to try something else, why don't you or not speak with my fellow artisans? I'm sure they'd be happy to oblige. You must continue wearing these garments in order to progress. What did I do to you guys? Look, I know I was very vocal about my dislike of Endwalker, but like, up until the point this expansion came out, what did I do to deserve this? Why are you hurting me? You will change back to your normal garments if you move too far away. Blah, blah, blah. We know how all this works. A fresh change of clothes? Say no more. It's like the quests that make you say OGP has a public humiliation fetish. I mean, at least you could argue that that's like a fun roleplay thing. This... I already experienced looking like a dork-ass loser. I played in a Realm Reborn. I started playing before they added glamours to the game. And I've never really bothered with glamour. At least on my main, I normally don't bother glamoring until I hit level cap. Because you change gear so much. Although it's a lot easier now that glamour plates are a thing. But like back, especially back when you had to glamour items individually, I just never bothered glamoring things until I hit level cap because you changed gear so much and it was a waste of glamour prisms. Oh, no one said you'd be coming. How can I help you? You wish to try my clothes? Really? Of course. It would be my honor. Did you have anything in mind? Got anything with a little more flair? I'm looking for clothes with an altogether different design. Surprise me. I think I can handle that. Let's see. This should do. Oh. Oh, right. Ancients in their masks. That makes sense. Some of my best work yet. It's a relatively new concept, incorporating an idea that's never been tried with clothing before. Fragrance. Can you smell the carrots? Sniff, sniff. Oh, simply divine. I was worried about how the concept would turn out when put to the proof, but it looks stunning on you. Does it though? Won't you go and show Living Way? I'm sure she's eager to see what we've come up with. You must continue wearing these garments in order to progress. Wahoo! Yippee! I didn't realize that these were... I thought those were boots. I didn't realize that those were... Or I thought those were pants. I didn't realize those were the cuffs of the boots and I was wearing shorts underneath. I mean, that combo I'm fine with. I just would want a different top then. Ow. Hi, Living Way. My, don't we look splendid? Not really. The result of much trial and error. But I know quality work when I see it. Do you? Shh, you needn't speak. I can see your adoration for the moon and wheel operets in your eyes. No doubt your friends feel the same, having sampled our creations. Show it to me. Let me see it. Oh, Ariane. Sorry to have kept you waiting. The leopard print suits you, Thancred. They insisted we sample all of their concepts ere we returned. Verily, 'tis an ensemble most becoming. Uh-huh. I mean, in your case, Ariane, it's not that different from what you were wearing up until Heavens, or until Shadowbringers, so... I think it's past time we return to these clothes. Agreed. Yeah, it's certainly bold. That's definitely a word for it. I was so confident our garments would meet with your approval. Whatever are we doing wrong? Taking advice from the Charlians. The Watcher taught us that, in his time, everyone wore the same robes. To do otherwise was against social etiquette. Also, you're basing things off of the social etiquette of a society from literally millions of years ago. We thought we could appeal to modern tastes by tailoring the robes to specific professions, but... Please, you mustn't be so hard on yourself. Should we resort to evacuating the people of Aetheris, they will most certainly have need of your attire. That's because his A Realm Reborn fit was literally a burlap sack critter. 'Tis clear you spared no effort in addressing our needs, but you must understand that we are not quite so homogeneous. Speaking for myself, what I wear now better suits my tastes, even if it is of inferior make. But there are others whose choices may be influenced by traditions or personal experience. Rather than make assumptions for the whole, you must consider the individual and their potential preferences. I fear we've underestimated the complexity and diversity of your people. Even if we had memorized every tome we received, I doubt we'd have fared much better. Maybe we're doing you a disservice trying to shower you with our baubles and frippery. Maybe we're doing you a disservice trying to shower you with our baubles and frippery, thinking it was for your benefit when you'd be better off on your own. There are some who might agree. People who prefer to keep others at arm's length, even when they know they shouldn't. As one such former fool, I'd like to ask you a question. This plan to evacuate and escape the final days, did it account for the reflections of the source as well? Not that I'm aware of, which raises the question, what the fuck are the moons on the reflections? We were born of Heidelin's love for Aetheris, and the salvation of the people on that star, and that star alone, has ever been our aim. And then Heidelin said, fuck the reflections. Surely it's better to devote ourselves to saving one world than to divide our efforts across 14 and risk failing them all? I suppose you're right. Also, this is why I think this was a manipulation tactic. Create the moon, call it an evacuation plan, but don't plan on saving the rest of the reflections after we've made friends and loved ones on another reflection. Now the guillotine is hanging over their heads regardless of if we succeed or fail or how effective this moon plan may be. Living Way, might we have leave to explore Bestways Burrow unattended? You have given us much to think about. Why, certainly. Until later, then. If I may, I should like to accompany thee a while longer. Really? I mean, you're more than welcome to. There was actually something I wish to speak with you about. Let's be off then, shall we? Hey there, little guy. Ah, my apologies. I wasn't trying to spy or anything, of course not. Everyone's been talking about the visitors come from Aetheris, and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. I was excited at first, but now I'm worried. What if the people of Aetheris refuse to come? What if we can't save them? It's clear we've made a mess of things. Oh, but wait! You still haven't visited the domiciles. Once you see them, you'll understand how wonderful the moon truly is, I'm sure of it. I'll be waiting for you by the teleporter near the entrance. Oh, and the name's Growing Way, by the way. See you soon. Also, I have combat music turned off, but fun fact, when you get into combat in Bestways Burrows, it is the Final Fantasy IV combat music. But yeah, arguably, I would say Heaven's Word was what really gave Urianger like a story, like a story arc, or like a character arc and stuff. It just got better, or like not better, but more developed in Shadowbringers. Sometimes I look at stuff that was in A Realm Reborn and I wonder if like what we ended up getting was always in some way or another the plan, or if they changed course at some point. Like, I've always wondered what their original plan was for the students of Beldezian. Was Eureka always going to be a thing, or was that something they decided on later and they had something else in mind originally? You're here! You're really here! Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry, what should I call you? I'm Shizune. Shizune Daskar, eh? Crikey, even your names are amazing. Well, Shizune, we'll be using this teleporter to enter the residential area. Whenever you're ready. Proceed to the residential area? Sure.
Ready in the teleporter.
Oh, that is not the voice I thought you would have. You guys all look the same, so I was expecting you to all sound the same. Whoops. Yeah, show us that moon housing. What could go wrong? Oh.
Huh? Access to living quarters restricted due to reconstruction. Then where is it? Oh no!
Huh? I feel like if your teleporter is broken, it should just not teleport me, not send me someplace random.
A private audience, as thou didst request, for reasons I know not.
No, it wasn't just one patch. Because remember, at the end of A Realm Reborn, we see him in some kind of communication with the Ascians. And then it was... we saw him in communication with the Warriors of Darkness the patch before we actually properly faced off against the Warriors of Darkness. Like, there was a bit of build up to it, and then Shadowbringers happens, because, like, that's the whole thing, is that it was, like, this whole conclusion is about him breaking a certain habit or tendency of his. Now, what's this all about?
caution. I'd rather I didn't have to ask the question at all, but I take my responsibilities very, very seriously. Do you and your friends, by any chance, find our accommodation wanting? Be honest, brutally even.
It would be ungracious of me to belittle the efforts of the Undyne.
That's such a non-answer, Oriange.
Really, but the disappointment is writ plain on your comrades' faces. It's all the more frustrating since no one will come out and say what they find wanting.
Because you won't let me.
If there are faults in our work, we need to know. We will do better. But time is not on our side. The final days will wait for no one. If your people are to be saved, we must take quick and decisive action. This vessel must serve as a home for as many passengers as possible, for far longer than we may like. Which brings me to my request. Our collaborators on Atheris are doing what they can to prepare for the voyage. Would you be willing to go and lend them a hand? Having seen the moon for yourself, you could speak to its many splendors, learn what else they might require, and assuage whatever concerns they have.
Wherefore wouldst thou entrust me with such a task?
How to put it? You're the only one who appears not to be wholly unsatisfied with our work. Oh, quite good at pretending that's the case, at least. Calm, collected, tactful to a fault. Very particular with your words, too. You understand that in the face of great danger, one cannot pursue perfection at the expense of practicality. The difficult choices must often be made for the greater good.
I mean, it's not even on the surface. They're basically asking him to go to Atheris and kind of lie to the people and oversell how great the moon is to get people to come here.
And so fate doth conspire to set my feet upon this path once more.
Come again?
Ah, idle musings. 'Tis no trifle thou dost ask, yet full well do I understand the urgency and necessity.
Oh, dear me! Dear me! I was terribly sorry for the mix-up. It's a bit of a malfunction. I hadn't realized the residential quarters were inaccessible, you see. But you're still in one piece. So, all's well that ends well, yes? Won't happen again. I promise.
The thing is, it's not about wearing ugly. It's about the food, the accommodations. People would be absolutely miserable here. It's could you sell this as paradise only for people to come here and like, hey, Sleepy. One of my other criticisms about this is, could you imagine spending the rest of your life here? How would it not just result in more despair? That would result in the final days breaking out here as well. Gosh, that was embarrassing. I promise to be more careful from now on. Since the residential quarters... Oh, the ad is happening. Whoops. Because Bunny, I guess, but Bunny only gets you so far. You know, people need clothes that they're comfortable in and feel good in, and food that they enjoy eating, and... Oh, it would absolutely be better to just be honest, but the thing is, the Loprits are asking Urianger to lie instead. And it's just like the whole situation with Shadowbringers and the deception that he undertook in Heavensward, and the way he tends to put these huge burdens on himself rather than asking his friends for help and communicating with them. It's not even that. The whole plan sucks because of Heidelin. Imagine if she had had, and again, this is something I'm going to address in my video essay, but like, imagine if instead of having the Sharlians basically doomsday prep, she'd had them researching Dynamis. Anyway, I'm actually going to use the ad break to bio real quick, so I will be right back. Haha, I remember to unmute. There we go. Much better. Anyway. Since the residential quarters are closed for now, I've rerouted the teleporter to allow travel between floors instead. Hopefully it proves useful in the meantime. A shame you couldn't see it, though. You really would have liked it. You can now travel between the upper and lower floors of Bestways Burrow. Yay! Ooh, side quests! Alright. First things first. 533 versus my 525 gear. Yeah. Don't need to worry about earrings. Do need to worry about top and pants. Oh, wait a minute. Is this gear gonna be not cute? Man, I would like this gear so much more if it didn't have the tabard and the collar. Oops. Let's glamour back over it. Oop. That one. I'll start changing my glamour and stuff when gear starts being cute. All right, side quest time. Are any of these on this floor? Doesn't look like it. Oh! Let's start on the bottom floor. Is also... yeah. Greetings! I'm the Loprit in charge of the children's romping grounds. I expect it will be quite the challenge keeping the children of Aetheris entertained with limited space and supplies, but I dare say I'm up to it. In fact, I but recently came up with a new game that requires no props nor preparation. I call it the Loprit's Never Stopper It, name pending Living Ways approval. Care to give it a go? I mean, the name's a bit long, but... I knew you would. Now, the game is very simple. You need only count the Loprits hopping this way and that way, or possibly no way, before time is up. Big as fuck space? I mean, yeah, it's big, but is it big when you consider trying to fit the entire population on it? Not that they're actually planning on fitting the entire planet's population, which is the other issue. But yeah, it's how cold and awful this place is, combined with the fact that they don't have an actual specific planet pointed out. They just kind of have a possibility list. So people are going to be stuck on here, no idea how long they're going to be here, no idea where we're actually going or how long it's going to take. I mean, yes, but like two things can be true at the same time. I'm not basing it just off of, oh, space compression and stuff. I'm basing it off of the fact that, objectively speaking, the moon is bigger, or the moon is significantly smaller than the planet. I mean, just look at the difference between the size of the planet versus, or when we see it from the moon versus us looking at the moon from the ground. And we don't really have any way of knowing right now how much of the space on the moon is actually inhabitable. And even MSQ acknowledges that, because they talk about the fact that, oh, we're not going to be able to save everybody. We're going to have to, like, make sacrifices. So then what happens if somebody gets put on here, but, like, people they know and love were left behind? I have the perfect place picked out to play. Follow me to the Curatorium. Like, the fact that they aren't going to be able to save everybody is explicitly mentioned in MSQ. And then the question is, okay, how many people are they gonna be able to fit on here, and how cramped is it gonna end up being? I mean, this is basically a refugee ship. The vacillating Loprit is in need of help. Oh, it's you! If it's not too much trouble... Okay, but then why didn't they plan for that? If they were planning for everything else, why weren't they planning for, you know, maybe building ships that were big enough to fit everybody? They had a couple hundred years to plan for this. Transportation issues should not have been a problem in the first place if they were actually planning this for as long as they were. All of it was very much by design. If it's not too much trouble, I could really use your help. We've been making clothes for your people, but after speaking with Livingway, I realized we've made a grave mistake. Considering alterations must be made to our plans, and I was hoping you might join me to speak with the Loprit in charge of garment adjustments. Thank you. They're not going to be happy about this. Ah, there it is. Recording Way. Recording Way needs to gather more data. Curses! Insufficient data, even after everything I've done. You! Living Way told me about you. Would you mind lending me a hand? As you know, we Loprits are only awakened recently. While we were sleeping, Mare Lamentorum has undergone a number of bewildering changes. One of those being the appearance of strange walking fungi. Thinkers, we call them. An Allegan vessel crashed here many years ago, you see, and some part of it pierced through the wall of our underground bioplant. I believe the spores from within eventually made their way to the surface of the moon, where they went on to mutate and evolve in our absence. I mean to study these curious new life forms, but I need more data before I can draw any real conclusions. Would you be willing to retrieve a sample of fungal filaments for me? Yes, a single sample should more than suffice. If I remember my culture studies correctly, you will expect some form of payment in exchange for services rendered, yes? Bring me that filament and I will see you are duly compensated. The inquisitive Loprit is eager to learn about people. Aha! I knew I'd find one of you eventually. Can you talk? I have so many things I wish to ask you. I am capable of speech, yes. We have learned much about you thanks to our collaborators on Aetheris, but it has become clear there is a great deal they neglected to mention. Your stunted growth, for example. Rather than speculate on other crucial details we may have overlooked, we're hoping you can clarify a few things, if that's all right. Sure. Thank you so much. A few of my fellow Loprits are sure to have burning questions of their own. If you could wait here a moment, I'll go and fetch them. Something like that. The following event cannot be skipped. Blah, blah, blah. Yep, I'm not queued in for anything because I'm a smart. Hi there, little buddy. Yeah, I love the little floppy ear. Sorry to keep you waiting. Now then, shall we get started? I know, I was talking about this earlier, like, if we had still been the size of ancients, would we have just been, like, they would have been keychain sized. First, we'd like to ask about typical methods of stress relief. I like to punch things. Or bake. We have read that, when thrust into new and otherwise unfamiliar environment, the people of Aetheris can become quite stressed. Should the worst come to worst and they're forced to relocate here to the moon, well, it's gonna be chaos, I'm sorry. We're considering a number of contingencies based on what we've read, but being a native of Aetheris yourself, we're quite curious to know how you prefer to relieve stress. Exercise always helps me relax. I usually sleep through my troubles. Breaking the bones of my enemies is quite cathartic. I kind of want to answer, man, it's not canonically true to Shizune, though. It should be exercise, but I really want to see what they say if I mention breaking the bones of my enemies. Because the reality is, I know, like, that's the other issue, is do they have a contingency for people being stressed and freaked out and getting really aggressive because of it, and the conflicts that would break out because of it? Like, even if the final days doesn't end up breaking out on the moon, violence absolutely would. Let's see what they say. Breaking the bones of my enemies was quite therapeutic. You what? Oh dear, how barbaric! I suppose the exertion required to do so can help relieve stress. Perhaps we can repurpose our supporters for mock combat. That was certainly enlightening, thank you. We'll make a paradise out of the moon yet. Just wait and see. I too have a rather pertinent question. What do your people do for recreation? We have pored over every book provided to us from cover to cover, but the answer yet eludes us. As such, we're quite certain that what new ideas we had for entertainment are wanting for inspiration. So tell us, what do you enjoy? Eating always raises my spirits. Travel and exploration of the unknown can be quite exhilarating. The carnage of battle makes my heart sing. Okay, but no, not actually. Travel and exploration of the unknown can be quite exhilarating. Oh, good. There are myriad places to visit on the moon aside from Mare Lamentorum. Are they? Are they in the room with us right now? They all look more or less the same, though. I think I have a better idea of what needs to be done next. Thank you. One last question, if I may, and perhaps the most important we could ask of you. Sure. Do you like carrots? I mean, I don't dislike them, but yeah, not particularly. Well, I'm sure you'll change your mind once you try one of our carrots of happiness. I think that covers everything. Thank you for your time. Your solution is to Stockholm Syndrome us into liking carrots. Hello? That was awfully nice of you taking time to answer our questions. It was more helpful than you know. Every word of what you said is here in my notes, and I plan to share it with everyone. Mark my words, we'll transform the moon into a marvel unlike anything you've ever seen. If you told a hamster you break bones for fun and it could understand what you were saying, it would probably just keel over from fear. Yeah, I mean, I was trying to see how they would react to the fact that, like, even if canonically Shizune would probably just, like, exercise or something. The reality is the stress of this situation would result in violence breaking out, inevitably. Because some people have a bad reaction to stress and stuff, and some people react to stress with anger. Or they react to it with alcoholism, and that results in violence. Yawning Way needs help gathering the Curatorium's loprits for mealtime. Hey guys, I'm really sorry about what I'm about to do, but I want to see if it creates a chain reaction. Yes! Did it work? Did I make you yawn, Sleepy? Yawning Way needs help gathering the Curatorium's loprits for mealtime. Oh, bother. There's no sign of any of them, and it's almost time to eat. No. The noodle doth protest too much. You there. If you happen to be heading to the Curatorium, could you let my fellows know it's mealtime? If we don't eat, I can't take my nap. I mean, you could eat and then take your nap. Why does everybody else need to be present for that? Many thanks. They should come running at the mention of carrots of happiness. So just say those 3 magic words, and they'll be on their way. Watching Way has a mystery in want of solving. I'm looking. What am I looking at? Excuse me, miss. The Say quest, yeah. Have you by chance seen any thieves prowling about with ill-gotten iron carrots? They're crimson, tender, and surprisingly heavy. The carrots, that is, not the thieves. I mean, the thieves could also be surprisingly heavy. If you haven't seen them yet, I'm sure you will. We've been told that you adventurers are quite good at solving crimes that no one else can be bothered with. Wonderful! I'm relying on you to solve our carrot caper. Honestly, what manner of fiend would deny a loprit their dinner? Anyway, our culprit, or culprits, took 4 carrots in all. Those are not easy to carry about, so I dare say they can't have gotten far. Adventurers have a special spell. It's called Quest Marker. Or we're just very good at hearing things and can hear people crying for help. Goodness! My apologies. I was rather preoccupied thinking about the rainbow crystals. Beautiful, aren't they? Sure, yeah. Their elemental energies are what make it possible for people to survive here on the moon. From the air we're breathing to the gravity that keeps us from haphazardly floating about, it's all thanks to those crystals. They require regular maintenance to maintain equilibrium, though, and that's where I come in. If you don't mind to see how it's done, I could use an extra set of paws, or hands, as your kind seems to insist on calling them. My friends will take care of the more delicate work, so all you need to do is bring us a few aspected crystals. How about it? Superman or like Spider-Man with his spidey sense. It's so nice to know people from Aetheris take an interest in their own ability to breathe. Now, what we need to get started are lightning and wind aspected crystals. Each one, or one each. You can find them at their respective sparkling supply stations. Once you have them, you'll want to deliver the lightning aspected crystal to the Shine Supervisor to the north. They're in charge of shininess, you know. The wind aspected crystal should go to Hopping Way, near the entrance. I'll handle the fire and water aspected crystals, so you need simply report to me once your crystals are distributed. Alrighty. That or it's just a nomenclature thing. But also, like, They're like, oh, as you people insist on calling them, but like the ancients came first. It implies the ancients didn't call them hands. Check for doorknobs. Take the square root of the roots and you get... Okay, so this is the say thing. Oops, I misspelled happiness. Haha. Hairs of happiness, you say? My, is it that time already? It sure is. I was working out projections for optimal carrot production based on total population of Aetheris to ensure that... Oh, never mind. I must make haste or I'll miss out on seconds. Let me see. Yeah, no, there isn't an ether current here. Okay, here's the problem. Even if, like, I don't know if a lack of doorknobs on doors would matter because they're so tiny compared to ancients that it would have to, like, they need the doors to be big enough for the size of the people they were expecting to settle on here. And them. So it's just more efficient for it to be sliding doors or otherwise like automated doors. Hop, hop, hop. Up we go. There we go. How much worse the problem would be if we were still ancient size in terms of everybody being able to fit on the moon? I do kind of assume that based on how they talk, that the population during the time of the ancients was lower than it is now. Because otherwise, like, yeah, it's an idyllic society, but it sounds like the whole, like, for you to have a population that's small enough, like, that's able to be run by one single government where everybody's able to organize enough for half their population to sacrifice themselves to Zodiark. Shit, I was exploring and missed where, where is it? Aha. But yeah, it also explains why in modern times we have some souls that are reincarnated from ancients and others that are not. Yeah, there's just more souls around now compared to way back then. Blip blip. Insufficient stock of iron carrots. Iron carrot detected. Initiating iron carrot procurement. Huh? I'm not a carrot. Are you talking about me? I'm just a little gal. Oh, there was totally like a trail of carrots I was supposed to follow to find that guy. Oh well. Oh my god, I'm supposed to be on Summoner for this. Whoops. I forgot. Side quests. I'm actively trying not to end up over-leveled on Viper. Although at this point, my bigger concern may be that I need to run some content off stream to level up Dark Knight and Summoner Scholar. Oh, carrot, my carrot, the prize we sought is won. What? They're serving carrots of happiness today? The deep, luscious orange, that tempting, slender silhouette. Wait for me, my darlings. I'm coming for you. Oh, my whiskers. A visitor from Aetheris. What do I do? What do I say? And have you brought any snacks? There's carrots of happiness. Could that mean? Yes, it must be time to eat at last. Oh, how I have waited for this moment. There's nothing like a carrot of happiness to fill the void in one's belly and soul. Are you fucking kidding me? Also, hey guys, if you evacuate everybody to the moon, what are you gonna do when the local robots are killing everybody when they go to get a meal? Oh, my whiskers. Oops, I already read all of this. Carrot of happiness. Yeah, get out of here. Bye. Also, this whole question of whether or not they have opposable thumbs can be resolved by zooming in on their character models. Look, thumbs! Why are you even debating this, Core? We can literally see their hands. Or, sorry, Critter. Everybody's name colors are kind of blurring together. Oh, it's because there was both of you guys talking about it. Okay. But yeah, guys, Lockrits have opposable thumbs. We can literally see that they have, like, normal-ass hands. Do you see the carrot creation station there? When you're ready, see if you can count how many Lockrits are sneaking about it. Yes. Okay. Is this a counting thing or a clicky thing? 1, 2, 3, 4. Four? Because there's the little eepy guy over there. Yeah, 4. So, do you think you counted them right? How many culprits did you see? 4. Ooh, so close. How about giving it one more try, huh? Who did I miss? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there somebody on the ground? Is there somebody up above? Is there somebody else hiding? Does the sleeping one not count? Is the answer 3? So, you think you counted them right? How many Loprits? 3? No, this is gonna bother me. Where the fuck is the 6th one then? Or 5th one, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh! I can barely see its movement, but I see you now. I see you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It wasn't enough just to get it right by process of elimination. I needed to see the proof. There's 5 of them. We have a winner. Too easy, you say? Well, it's no fun if it's too hard. And you did have fun, didn't you? Wait, hold that thought. Our time here is nearly up, and structure is important for productive play. You can tell me all about the fun you had after we returned to Bestways Burrow instead. Yeah, all of the fun I had. I guess. I still think it's a security concern. Oh, hello there. I don't suppose you've come to deliver a lightning-aspected crystal. I did. A crystal infused with lightning-aspected ether, courtesy of the Curatorium. Like, either way, you would think they'd be like, uh-oh, this is now a risk issue that we need to address. Haha, oops. You have? Well then, stand back. I'll have those rainbow crystals sparkling like new in no time at all. I mean, they also made the Roomba fire lasers and have, like, blades on it and stuff. So, you know. You've returned. And everyone else is accounted for. Sustenance is essential for us Loprits, though I suppose people are the same. We sure are. In any case, we expend a lot of effort in raising a whole variety of carrots. Carrots of happiness are a new cultivar that are particularly comforting, though. It seems almost silly to have our workers consume so many carrots just so that we can produce more carrots. I mean, people also raid to get gear so that they can raid so that they can get better gear so that they can raid so that they can get better gear. So, you know, hydrate. Hydrate. Thank you for the head pats, critter. But that's a problem that cannot or can be solved with even more carrots. No need to worry about the details. I'll work out the figures just as soon as. Uh-oh. Oh man, I knew it was bound to happen eventually. What were we talking about? When did I start playing? I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV. Do you mean tonight or in general? I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV since the realm reborn. I distinctly remember this is like my main isn't even my original character. I technically started in like August or September of 2013 because a friend of mine was playing and got a bunch of the rest of us to play. I may have made myself yawn for realsies only once, but I could feel it creeping on earlier. But yeah. And then, like, all the rest of my friends kind of went on hiatus, and I eventually stopped paying my sub. And then when I started playing again, I made an alt to play with a friend on a different server. And then I ended up playing with that friend on that character for so long that she ended up becoming my main. And that character, I haven't unsubbed since, like, May of 2014. I have played through every single early access of every single expansion. I did not firsthand experience Raubon EX, but that's because by the time I got to that point in the story, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and so the servers weren't quite so overcrowded. But yeah, I've been here for forever. Anyway, let's finish up this quest, get that ether current. Nom nom. It's you! You're here! Which can only mean you have a crystal for me. Yep. Yes, that's the one I need. Thank you. The rainbow crystals will be like new in 2 shakes of a rabbit's tail. Aren't you thrilled? Absolutely ecstatic. Can't you hear it in my voice? You're back! Please tell me you found the carrots. Yeah, one of your murder bots took it. The supporter? I never would have suspected. It's supposed to help us farm carrots, not eat them. I recall the technicians said something about enhancing its code with a love for carrots to increase work efficiency. But to go so far as to steal carrots for itself, I fear it may now love them a little too much. Alas, those poor carrots. But at least we know what became of them, and how to prevent this happening again. Thank you for your assistance. You're back! I take it everything went according to plan? Then my Lamentorum is safe for another day. This part of it, anyway. Though there's one thing I still wish the crystals could provide for us, more carrots. Rain! Oh, how I long to see the shimmering raindrops that fall so freely on Aetheris. It's my dream to one day expand the capabilities of the rainbow crystals so we can do just that. Who knows? Perhaps you'll need a parasol the next time you visit. But until then, I promise we'll keep the moon in tip-top condition. We do live here, after all. I have concerns. Because rain in a place like this would probably make this floor really slippery. What am I doing? Now, tell me what you think. I'm confident the children will like it, and it cuts back on equipment costs as well. I see no downsides. So, I want to hear your honest opinion. How was it? Pool rules? I've actually played this before. What? And here I thought I'd come up with a new and exciting idea. I'll have to improve on it to make something truly unique. Thank you for taking the time to play with me. If you come up with a new game, I'll be sure, or if I come up with a new game, I'll be sure to seek your expert opinion. I mean, does it have to be a brand new game? Why not just educate yourself on the games that already exist that children already play? Where is the left? Is it? Oh, it's on the other side. Not my fault. Everything looks the same here. And now we go over here. Can I actually cut across? Almost. Oh, wait, shit. I almost got so distracted that I ran towards the wrong quest marker. I'm telling you, we're doing it all wrong. We have to fix these clothes before it's too late. How are we supposed to resize everything when we don't even know what to base the alterations on? Oh, you must be the model then. I see. You really are like a baby carrot. So let me tell you about how different races on Aetheris have different sizes. And just because something fits me doesn't mean it'll fit everybody. Perhaps an explanation is in order. You see, we'd like you to help us redefine the style of the clothing we create. We believe comfort and familiarity are key to accommodating the people of Aetheris, which is why we thought masks and all-purpose robes would suffice. When Livingway claimed the fashion trends of Aetheris are far removed from what we were anticipating, I was incredulous, but meeting you made everything painfully clear. Indeed, I see now that our plans won't do. Your garments are so vibrant and unique. We still need to decide what adjustments to make. So would you please stay a while? Sure. It's not like I'm racing against the clock to stop the apocalypse or anything like that. Thank you. Now, do be a dear and strike a pose for me, will you? I want to get an idea of how the fabric moves with you. Sure, let me just also, since we're not someplace cold anymore, in theory. I'm assuming the moon is climate controlled. Pose. Pose. Yep, okay. Strike pose. Yes, just like that. I see. May I ask you to choose to wear this outfit? Or may I ask why you choose to wear this outfit? Because it's cute. I like how it looks. It's practical. Not sure what I was thinking, to be honest. I like how it looks. So people find designs like this aesthetically pleasing? I'll have to bear that in mind when I redesign our concepts. Might I see your battle stance next? If the people of Aetheris have need to fight, I'd like to be certain their clothes strike fear in the hearts of their enemies. Fight who? We're gonna be stuck on the moon. Also, the summoner battle stance isn't exactly intimidating. The robots, I guess. But is the scholar summoner battle stance gonna strike fear in the hearts of robots? Yes, I believe I have a solid grasp of what our designs were lacking before. Truly, I never realized that one's choice of attire can make such an impression. And that ensemble quite befits your personality, I must say. Which means we can't just throw the same garb on everyone. What is that saying you have? Ah, yes! Variety is the spice of life. You have given me so many new ideas. I can hardly wait to get started. In fact, I cannot wait at all. Right. Then, right then. Would you care to follow me back to my station? I'll be right with you. I just gotta punch something real quick. Not for therapy this time, just for quests. I did attune to... Okay, cool, I did. Okay, here we go. Oh, these things. Okay. There we go. And back to Bestways Burrow. I should probably also mark that as my return point, huh? There we go. I was starting to wonder if the Thinkers had done you in. Nah. Were you able to retrieve a sample? A sampling of filament taken from settlement fungi found on the moon. Here you go. Excellent. I'll get to work analyzing it right away. Why, the structure of this filament is altogether different from the fungi growing out in the bioplant. May have the spores mixed with substances leaked from the Allegan ship. Chimera incubation fluid, perhaps? In any case, this isn't good. Any and all potential threats must be eliminated if we are to make the moon fit for inhabitation. You have helped with a most important discovery, and for that, you have my thanks. Here, your reward, as promised. Okay. Ooh, yes, I do in fact need that ring. I wasn't looking at the right job. I'm stupid! I need to prioritize Viper! Where are you? Are you on the other side? Yes, you are. Okay. I do believe that we have a much better idea of what we should be making now, and the necessary alterations, which should prove little trouble. Just you wait. Someday soon, the people of Aetheris will be clamoring for the latest fashions from Bestways Burrow. Assuming I get to work, that is. Thank you for your help. Alrighty. What's my necklace situation on Viper? Okay, the necklace, or the ring thing, actually not that big of a deal. My necklace is 510. This is 533. Yes, that is a pretty sizable upgrade. So I will take that. And that is where we'll wrap up for tonight. We will pick up tomorrow, starting at 7:30 Central, with more Final Fantasy XIV. Continuing with the MSQ. What the fuck is Ariane doing? I ask, as if I'm not clearly caught up with the game. But yeah, so thank you everybody for joining in tonight, on both Twitch and YouTube. If you haven't already, please hit that follow button on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Twitch. I am currently doing what I call the Endwalkathon, where for every subscription I get on Twitch, I will walk a mile. Weather and safety permitting, but I'm working on a workaround for that. So yeah, also, if I am at 100 subs at the end of July, we will do a repo stream. Because every month I put up a poll in the Discord to decide what we're gonna do if I'm at my sub goal for the month. And this month it is repo. Oh god, there's an ad coming and I'm out of pauses, so but yeah. So be sure to subscribe if you want to make that happen. In the meantime, you can follow me on Blue Sky and Tumblr. I'm Shizu Cheese in both places. I will be back at 7:30 Central tomorrow. Gotta pick somebody for us to raid real quick. Let's raid Artemis Storm. She is currently in Heavensward. So, I see where she is in Heavensward. So yeah, let's go support a newer player in their journey through MSQ. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. Until I see you again, I hope you have a good night, stay safe, stay healthy, and take care. Bye-bye.